Well, he's cleaning himself, so I guess that's one thing.
Yo, it's been so long since we've been in podcast mode, podcast table.
Podcasting.
I guess the background. Oh, the background I didn't even set up. Do you care?
Eh.
Okay. Yeah, it's been so long. Hey, wait, what are you doing? Okay, you're just checking out your area. But yeah, it's been so long since we've been in podcasts. What's been new with us? I mean, other than the Modern Warfare stuff that we have on the channel, nothing really
Guys,
new.
I have not slept in like 10 days. That's all because I've been playing Modern Warfare. So,
So,
I got no life now.
I was, as like podcasters hopefully we want to be really good podcasters. Thing that we like to do is watch other people's podcasts who are really good. And one of the top tier podcasts is Joe Rogan's podcast. And so I was watching a little bit of Joe Rogan's podcast, and I was watching the highlights. I didn't really have time to watch 3 hours of podcasting, but whatever. I mean, the only thing we have over Joe Rogan is Bunny.
Yeah.
He has cool
And
people.
hair. Actually, guys, if you guys don't notice, looking pretty sexy today. No beard. I'm going full.
You look full fob.
I'm going.
Like
I got
you
my
look like you
mustache.
just came off.
I got I'm not putting my hand. He might bite me still.
No, he won't bite. But yeah. So yeah, Joe Rogan.
Look at him. He's just chilling.
So Joe Rogan, we watch a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts because it's a top tier podcast, and we like to, notice a few things that he does here and there, and we want to make improvements like that.
I guess, guys, what we're saying is we're gonna start smoking shrooms before our podcast.
You don't smoke shrooms; you eat them, no?
I don't know. I've never done drugs in my life, so.
Anyway, so I was watching, and he had a clip about aliens, and the fact that you were in NASA, like that wasn't even planned, but the fact that you're in NASA makes me. I want to discuss it about you. So, what's your take, or do you believe in aliens? I guess
Hell yeah, bro.
Like
all day long. If you are an alien, and you're listening to this, bring me with you. I'm tired of paying bills and living life.
I didn't watch a lot of it. I just watched a few minutes or so. But they were talking about aliens, and then that decided for me to go onto our Lord and Savior Reddit.
I thought you said Google.
Same thing, but so I decided to take the trip through Reddit and Reddit's alien posting and whatnot, and a lot of like those conspiracy theories, man, they go hard. Like some of those guys, they go into psychology, they go into physics, biology, like the whole idea of crop circles, right? Like how crops.
A lot of people deemed that was fake, though, no?
So a lot of people say it's fake, but conspiracy theorists don't believe it's fake due to the fact that it's a conspiracy, right? And so they were going into this whole psychology that it wouldn't make sense for a human to do that, to waste their time on that, and they get no benefits out of it. And then they were going into the physics of how you would have to get such a perfect circle, and it'd be almost impossible for a perfect circle unless you had an aircraft above you directing you all, giving you all the dimensions and everything and how to go around. And biology says that crop circles can't happen by mistake because corn, that would never happen with corn or whatever. And then they came into this weird conclusion that it has to be aliens from another life form that are just more advanced in every mathematical sense, and they were able to create these crop circles, and maybe in their language that's how they communicate with these symbols, and that these symbols may mean something. And
so they memed the earth, basically. They just left some circles on a square, and they're like, haha, meme.
And these guys if I can find back that Reddit post, I forgot to favorite it, but if I can find it back, I'll probably link it down below. But they went I read it for maybe about an hour, and I had to reread it a little bit to understand what was going on. Don't bite the blanket. But yeah, so I had to reread it a couple times to understand what they were talking about and what was going on. And yeah, that's basically what I did.
Weird though. No, okay, look, here's the thing. Look, I think that there's aliens 100% because there's just not enough proof. Okay, I guess 20 years ago or 10 years ago, you could say there weren't aliens because there just was not enough proof to say there were. Mm-hmm. Not enough reliable proof.
Yeah.
But there's so much proof now. There's people that are accredited fighter pilots. There's scientists. There's we're kind of past the realm at this moment of aliens not being here. It just kind of sounds more and more realistic. And if you think about it, look at how big our universe is. If you've ever think about it like this, okay? If you've ever been on a plane, okay, and you looked out and you saw a city, okay, or a country, look at how big that place is, all right? And maybe there might be only like a couple thousand people where you're looking down in. That's only a couple thousand people. That's like 0.0000001% of the entire Earth's square footage. Now, multiply that a much greater number to get a country. And then multiply it even more to get a continent. Multiply even more to get a subcontinent, and then the world. And that's just the world. Now we got different planets and galaxies. Like we're not even and different. Like it's crazy. There's so many galaxies and there's suns, and the sun is bigger than our.
So with the whole galaxy thing, I was reading this really famous physicist. I tend to read a lot of science stuff. They're just more interesting. I'm personally not like a fiction person, like rare fiction I'll read. But anyways, beside the point. So he was discussing the whole idea of aliens, and his argument was that let's assume the universe is infinite or it's vast. The particles that make you up as you can only be rearranged so many times. So if we're saying that the universe is infinite, which a lot of people like to say, then eventually there's going to be another copy of you somewhere in the universe. And by that theory, then that person is thus an alien because they do not live on Earth. They are like extraterrestrial life form. They come from a different planet. So I was reading onto the paper. It was I'm like mixed about the whole idea of aliens. I don't think there's hard enough evidence. But after reading that paper and thinking about it, if we do consider the universe to be infinite, then there is the possibility that aliens exist because whatever makes you can only be rearranged so many times. That's like a deck of cards. You can only rearrange it so many different ways before you get back to some way that you rearranged it before. Which is really funny. I don't know if you know about this as a fun fact. A normal deck of cards, 52, you can rearrange that more ways than there are, I think, atoms in the world. Yeah, I think it was atoms, but yeah. So you could rearrange a deck of cards more times than there are actually atoms in the world. By thus, more atoms than there are in that deck of playing cards.
Shit. Mind blown. No, I don't know. It's weird. I think personally speaking, I like even in the whole like space exploration, I feel like they're not I'm not talking about the multiverse theory that I guess Stephen Hawking's had. If that's who's had it.
Was he
the
one
dude in the wheelchair, bro?
No, but was he the one for multiverse?
Someone was. Some dude, some guy was, or girl, I don't know. I might be wrong.
My phone's recording, so I can't. I was like, well, let me look this up. Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, the point is that, oh shoot. I'm saying that there is probably, not universes, but like this universe that we are in. Maybe there's multiverses, but the universe that we're in is so huge that I think that there has to be life on Earth. Life on outside of Earth, like somewhere.
Don't bite, sir.
What's he doing? Biting you?
He's trying to bite the cloth.
But that's not food.
Stop. These are expensive.
Yeah.
Sir.
Exactly. Are you working? You paying rent here to be eating up our
Ally? This guy's acting like he
our
pays
fresh
rent.
linen?
I take care of you. I feed you.
He doesn't even feed himself.
I wish I could take you outside, but you'd be gone in like 3 seconds. Not even because you may not like me. It's predators will probably eat you in like 3 seconds.
No, I think it's
like how juicy you are.
No, but yeah, like I think that eventually we will find life on Earth, or I guess life
on Earth?
life outside of Earth.
There you go.
Or life outside of Earth will find us because it will deem that we are ready.
There was this weird paradox. Damn, I can't remember the name, but it went something along. If I remember the name, I'll try to think about it. Let me borrow your phone real quick. It's really on the tip of my tongue. I know what the paradox is, but so it's the whole idea of
That's right, guys. We give each other our phones. Hashtag.
You're about to start a lot of wars.
Don't cheat on your girl 2018.
Sure.
Also, if any of you guys are watching UFC 244 last night, I was very surprised. I honestly thought Nate Diaz would beat Masvidal. I couldn't like. I know you don't watch UFC, but to any of you guys that watch UFC,
Okay, so
mind blown.
I really don't watch it. I'm into like mixed martial arts, but
You like getting beaten up. You don't like watching other people beat each other up.
Okay, so the Fermi paradox. So this is what I was referring to. It was made by it was thought up by
Guys, he's lying. The guy's looking at he's looking at Tetris.
You're an idiot. So the Fermi paradox, it was created by a physicist, Enrico Fermi, and so it was a paradox used.
Deport him.
What are you doing? He's cleaning himself. It was a
Deport
paradox
him.
used to basically say there are no extraterrestrial life forms, and basically, the paradox went somewhere like for you to travel from one galaxy to the other galaxy, unless you are so far advanced, it would be a waste of resources for you to get to that other colony or that other galaxy, because by the time you get there, you're gonna have to restock on supplies to come back to your galaxy. There's no benefit for you going to another galaxy.
But it depends on what you're doing to get to that galaxy. You know what I mean?
Well-
Like they were saying, like the way that they were using anti-gravity as a fuel source, which is there's abundance of that in space. So I don't really think that it would slow you down.
Well, so they were assuming that because galaxies are light years apart, and unless you're able to travel at the speed of light, which is technically impossible unless some extraterrestrial life form has cracked that, and it's very hard
That's
to believe they have.
impossible though, because that takes up all the energy in the universe.
That I don't know about.
E equals MC squared, my guy.
Yeah.
That's what that means. It means it takes basically in a nutshell, it takes all the energy in the universe in order to travel the speed of light. Which
So
is
that's what
impossible.
somebody's saying. So if you have to travel, like say 7 million light years away or whatever, unless you're able to travel at the speed of light or faster, there's no benefit for extraterrestrial life forms to actually interact with other life forms in the galaxy, because you're losing resources for what? For nothing. Unless you're coming here to colonize, which means you're going to have to come with loads of ships, meaning you're going to probably have to drain a lot of resources from your end to
Yeah, but-
colonize here in
Okay.
hopes that our technology, or we have the resources to restock your technology.
Okay, so look, the space program, the USA space program, Canadian space program, all these different space programs, they spend billions of dollars per year. For what?
Well, they're doing more like a satellite stuff, which, yes, it's resources, but it's not the resource that you'd be talking about in the magnitude of traveling at light speed.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even when we went to the moon, what was the point of that? Like, what is the point of a lot of the stuff that humans, as we do, our military budgets, like all these different things?
Well, okay, military budgets I can kind of understand. That's just protection from other countries, because other countries like to be really
I don't
countries.
know. I don't know.
But that's my.
I don't know. Like personally speaking, I just think I think that like
I think the idea of the Fermi paradox makes sense.
if you think about it, right? You got a lot of the stuff that we do as humans, a lot of stuff that we have done is just because we want to see if we can do it.
Listen,
And I think that's what that is about.
you seem to be sponsored by NASA. How about you ask them? I'm gonna contact my buddy at NASA right now.
I'm gonna contact my buddy
Shut
at
up.
NASA
No,
right
you're
now,
ugly.
guys. Yep, this is happening. I know someone at NASA.
I have no idea who you're calling.
Yo. What's good, dog?
Is that Brian?
What's good, dog?
Oh, no,
Hey,
it's Darsh.
we're doing the podcast, Darsh, and I know you're from NASA. So can you tell us if there's aliens?
Yo, that's so funny. I just watched Geostorm. And NASA was all up in Geostorm, so I mean, I could give you a little bit input about NASA.
Yeah, please, yo.
There's probably extraterrestrials up there somewhere, because I know that's where Timothy Rodriguez came from.
Listen, you alien-looking head.
All right, obviously.
Keep the swearing down.
Who invited this guy to the phone call? Yo,
Wow. Okay, guys. Well, I guess that's the end of this podcast. Stay tuned. Hey, no.
Nothing else.
Stay tuned for next podcast, or I mean, not podcast. Modern Warfare going up later today.
It feels nice to be back in the camera. I mean, other than my midterm and assignment stress, it's been
and the couple of pornos I've done, like we haven't been in front of the cameras.
okay. Anyways, so we do apologize for the lack of videos. As we said, it's mainly been me, and I've told Anand to do the podcasting by himself, but because we've started it together, he wanted to keep it together.
And what happened was I tried it, and it was just me in a room, and I just didn't know what to talk about.
And so yeah, midterms is finally over for me. There's gonna be a few more podcasts. Hopefully, finals week is about to come up in 4 or 5 weeks, so podcasting might slow down then. But for Christmas, we are planning a Christmas theme. I think it's like a 12-day of Christmas. I think every 12 days leading up to Christmas, we're gonna do something.
I don't know yet. We're gonna find out. You guys will find out. It's a surprise. Either way,
You look
we will see you guys on the next podcast episode, or I guess Modern Warfare is gonna be coming out a couple more in a few days. Sorry, but until then, Bunny says later.
You think I can get?
Peace.
You think I can get him? No. Wait, maybe. Yep. Haha. Bye.